Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are installing some goodies from Superchips. We're out at the JP shop and we're out with Tracy. We got Joey here.
The Superchip TD2 in-cabin controller.
And
the mount for it.
Big fan of these monitors. You know, Edge, Superchips, Diablo Sport. They are the best out there on the market, I have to say. And speaking of which, Edge just came out with the CTS3 monitor. I like this because it's going to give me the option to monitor all my gauges and other things. This thing does a lot more than just a gauge monitor. We're actually going to be loading tunes through this, through Superchips, and I'm going to get into it later in the video. There is a security bypass that gets installed. We already installed it.
I installed a Chinese one of these. This is a lot better than one I installed previously.
Oh yeah, Superchips, buddy.
But that was for a phone.
Yeah. I already have a phone mount. I have a Pro Clip USA mount, and I'm still going to be able to use that in conjunction with that, which is very nice.
Wow, that's not a manual. That's a whole packet.
Yeah, it's like a book. So this goes over the different security bypass installations that you have. What we're installing, well, it's already installed as a Type C. You'll need to install a Type C.
See, look,
bypass.
and then it tells you.
Yeah.
They did a real good job at taking pictures of it too.
We'll show you where that's at underneath the dash. It's very similar to the Ram 1500 that we did. If you missed that video, that's on the channel. Whenever you're installing some new electronics, because you don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf anywhere, you should always do the updates. Check it for updates, make sure it has all the current firmware. And we're gonna do that first before we install this. Download the software from Superchips. Basically, you plug this thing in, it automatically connects to it, and it will check to see if you need any updates. And if it does, it'll tell you. You hit yes or okay, and you update it. This is our security bypass, Type C security bypass right here. There's their mount. Their mounts are nice. I'm not a fan of having stuff to my windshield, and it's very nice that they have this option over there. You got your OBD2 port cable, HDMI cable, which is going to plug into the back of your monitor. We'll show you how we run that wire. And then this is your update cable, your USB update cable. That's what we're going to be using here shortly to update the firmware.
We need to take this off and switch it with this.
Oh,
so what you do is you unscrew your lock, and then you just gently pry that out, which doesn't take much force. And then you unscrew this side, and then you just pop that out.
Swap it.
I'm just going to keep those together because I don't know if the threads are different or not. And now, it's on there.
Cool.
And then you just tighten this up wherever you want it once you get it in the vehicle and position correctly.
This is definitely beefy, guys. And you still have your tray, which is very nice.
This is the bypass that he's talking about. 2 female plugs. Those, you take the wires out, and then you plug those 2 plugs, which are these, into the supplied security bypass. It's super easy, and then what you do is you'll zip tie this back up, which it's already zip tied, but I was able to move it down.
And you can't get it wrong, guys, because you can only plug those plugs once you unplug it into, they're not the same. So they're meant to go in, yeah, they're 2 different.
They're keyed.
Ports. Ports?
Sure.
They're 2 different plugs, so you can't mix it up.
Take this rubber mat out. The rubber mat comes out, and then there's 2 Phillip head screws that'll be right in this location. You take those 2 screws out. Go ahead and plop your phone mount, or your cubby, I'm sorry. Plop your cubby in there, and now it's installed. Oh, apparently Steve can still use that. This is the panel to cover up the wiring for the door. I also took the panel off that goes right here. And then the next step will be, I'm going to take this off. And what you do is, this will slide up in there, and you just get something underneath it, and then pry up, and it comes right out. 2 10mm bolts, 1 up top, and then 1 down below here. Oh, all right. What you do is you just pull towards you, you had to pop out the speaker grill. That's plugged in, and then we're slowly going to work our way up, tucking this in. There is a rubber gasket back here that we're gonna tuck up into. Then what we'll do is we'll just wrap this up right around here, and then we're gonna put it all back together. The Yankee with no brim. Come on, you're a New Yorker. You don't see Yankees with no brims?
Joey and Tracy got it all installed. I got this updated. Man, that's nice. Nicely hidden. Still get to keep the Pro Clip mount there.
Perfect. I did such a good job.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Since we just updated, it's a good thing we did. There was multiple updates that took a lot longer than expected, like 30 minutes to actually update it. And the app that we used to update it was the Fusion software. Now it's detecting, is this vehicle equipped with a manual transmission? No. Is this vehicle a 2007 or newer Rubicon? Yes. That looks good, Tracy. Seriously.
You'll see the process later of how we did it.
Yeah.
We'll see if
Joey did a good job filming it. Okay. Turn off ignition. Turn on ignition. Wait for vehicle to power down.
It's super hard to see with the reflection.
Turn the ignition back on again. Do not start it. Hit the screen. Turn ignition off again. Hit the screen. Wait for the vehicle to power down. We'll open and close the doors. So what it was doing there, guys, it was actually pulling the stock data from the PCM. It basically retrieved all the data successfully from the, well, ECU, excuse me. And now we're going to proceed to the website and follow the PCM swap instructions. That end, you're going to go through Superchips to handle all that. But if you just want this monitor or this mount, you can get this here at the jpshop.net, and I'll continue this at home. Back home, this is something that you can do prior to, like, as soon as you order everything, you get everything shipped to you, you know it's on the way, or even beforehand, you can get all this information, and you don't have to wait to do this. I did, because I had a lot of other stuff going on. If you're going the full tuning route. If you're not going the full tuning route, you don't even have to worry about any of this. But what I'm gonna have to do is get some data off the PCM, which of course you can't see it. So I'm gonna actually have to pull the PCM out a little bit so I can get some photographs of that. You need to make sure you get all the right information here on these tags to Superchips. So now that I got it all out, I'm gonna document this information, get my VIN number, and then we're gonna go back to the computer and I'm gonna show you what we're doing next. Lost my first 10 mil deep well socket. It's somewhere in this Jeep. I can't find it. Superchips comes with some excellent instructions, pretty self-explanatory. They're gonna tell you to go to this website right there, superchips.com/PCM-ship. And then once you get there, you're gonna get to this page. Gives you all the details, tell you all the products, related products associated with this. And then you're gonna click this link here. You're gonna go right here. Your VIN, if you don't know what your VIN is, it'll actually tell you where you can get it. So you go there, you're gonna put your 17-digit VIN in. The calibration ID, that's actually on your ECU. That's some of the information that I had to get. And it will tell you where that's at. Part number is going to be the actual part number on the box here. And then the serial number, that's actually going to be on the device itself, which I have right there. And you can see that there, it's on the back side. We're going to enter this now. Simple process, guys. I just wanted to show you how easy this is so you don't get discouraged if this is something that you want to do. As you know, I'm always doing new and different things. I got some stuff planned for the Charger with Diablo Sport and Hemi Fever tuning. We're adding, well, I ordered long tube headers. They're on the way. Of course, they're sending us long tube headers, so that's coming soon. Now we just need to wait for our new PCM. that Superchips is going to send us. It's been a few days. We've had our Trail Dash 2 unplugged the whole time because I didn't want to leave it plugged in. I didn't want to cause any issues, any errors. First step, since I didn't go into an in-depth removal of the PCM, I'm going to go pretty much show you the whole entire process, what you need to remove your PCM or ECU. I always get grilled about that. It's either ECU or PCM. ECU from your vehicle. So step one, we are going to use a 13mm socket. It's got a little battery underneath your fuse box right here. We're going to disconnect the negative wire. I already loosened it up. It's right here. It's a 13mm. Guess what? Heather and Miss Maisy found my deep well 10mm socket. So I officially have not lost the 10mm yet.
That's right.
So I got that ground wire off of there. I'm going to use my nice wire care shop rag to keep it from touching. We're going to disconnect our battery, which is a 10mm. Just to expedite it, I already loosened it up a little bit, so I speed up this process. And I'm going to use my nice wire care shop rag, put it on there so it doesn't touch it. We don't have any issues. So now our batteries are disconnected. We're going to disconnect our intake air temperature sensor, which is right here. This is a S&B cold air induction, but it's similar. It'll be in the same general area of a stock air intake. Using an 8mm. And this is just simply to get it up and out of the way so we have more access to our PCM. Just gonna move it up a little bit, get it up out of the way. These are your two main wire harnesses going into your PCM. You're gonna wanna release that right here on this lever, right in the middle of it. There's a little black tab. You wanna press that in. As you're pressing that in, pull up on the lever. And then when you're grabbing and pulling up on the lever, you're gonna slowly push it out and it will release it from the ECU. And you're just gonna put this down to the side. You're gonna do the same thing with the other plug going to your ECU. So we're gonna push that little black tab in and pull up on the lever at the same time. Slowly, it's plastic. You don't wanna like muscle it out of there. It will come out. You might have to wiggle a little bit, tweak it, but it will come out. I'm having an issue with this one connector to the PCM. I don't know why it's getting stuck here. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna remove, there's a stud down here, right? There's a stud right here. It's a 10mm nut holding this portion of the PCM or ECU push clip that pushes onto that stud that holds that wire in place. I already pulled it off. And then you have a 10mm bolt here and a 10mm bolt there with a ground strap to it. So we're gonna loosen them up. We're gonna remove those two 10mm bolts first, and then we're gonna hit that nut. This top one, you're probably gonna have to use a shallow socket to get to. And you're gonna need a deep well socket for the nut that's down here on the lower back side. Take your time, you can get her done. It's very easy, minus this. The only thing it's got me hung up is this one harness plug, because normally they come right off, no problem. This one's giving me a hard time, so.
Sounds about right.
I told Heather, I said, yeah, it'll take 10 minutes to do this. If you mind holding the camera for me, it'd be great so we can get some better angles. And sure. We got that 10mm nut off the lower end of the ECU. I got that bolt out. Just got one more down here. This is where we'll use an extension. All right, we got that out. So now the PCM is out for the most part, except for this one harness. Got the harness off. What I end up doing is I got a flat blade screwdriver, a very large one, and just slowly pry it on the top and the sides, working the lever up here, that red lever, at the same time, and it was able to dislodge. I might put some dielectric grease or something on the side of this. It's just it's really tight, but it's done. We're gonna pull this out. This is our stock ECU. Good to go with that. And here's what Superchips sent us. Basically, you're gonna get, this is a swap program that they have. Here's your shipping label. You're gonna repackage up your OEM one and ship it back to them. Gives you a whole bunch of warnings. Swapping your vehicle's factory PCM may generate a trouble code that may not appear on your dash, but may be visible to dealerships with a scan tool. Just, you know, if you have a warning and that's one of your concerns and you're worried about losing it, there is a way that dealerships can tell that you have tampered with the PCM. So here it is, guys. Here's your unlocked PCM from Superchips, and here's your stock PCM ECU. So we're gonna put this in the box. We don't want to get it confused. It's kind of hard not to because it's dirty. We'll put that in there for now. Put all this back in here. And we're gonna ship that back to Superchips in a couple days because I want to make sure everything's functioning first before we do that. Just so, you know, in the future, if I don't keep this vehicle and someone else gets it and they go in there and they can see, you know, that this is Superchips equipped. This is a modified unlocked PCM with full tuning. So as you can see on the right, you got tan. And you look at the harness, that's tan, right? And then on the left, you got gray, and the harness is gray. So just something to keep in mind. You want to put gray with gray and tan with tan when you're reinstalling your new unlocked PCM. Everything's been reinstalled, batteries reconnected, PCM's in, our intake air temperature sensor, our intake's back on the throttle body. We can go into the vehicle and start loading our tunes. But what we're gonna have to do first, it's gonna have to load the stock tune data that we pulled earlier. That's an important step. You can't skip any steps in this process. And I don't normally do this, but I'm excited to be able to make adjustments when needed in the Jeep, which is very important because we're always doing different types of stuff. And I'm excited to have tune options in the future. And even more importantly, which if you don't want to go to the tuning route, you can just buy the monitor and monitor your stuff, your vitals, your engine's vitals, important stuff that you need to monitor when you're off-road. Very important stuff.
Your car's ABCs. Airways, breathing, circulation.
We're back in the vehicle. Everything's wrapped up on the other end. The dielectric grease worked flawlessly. Just put it on the outside of the actual plug, not on the inside, because dirt and grime got up in there and it got stuck. The lever got stuck, the release mechanism. So we were able to get it out, luckily, but a little bit of dielectric grease, man, it went on so smooth. We're gonna plug in our HDMI cable, which goes into our OBD2 port. Well, I should have been videoing. Everything loaded up. I hit performance settings. I click the 87 octane tune, and now it's saving the stock file. So this could take a little bit. Well, now it's saving stock file number 2. So number 1's done. We're on 2. And so just, you know, bear with it, guys. It's not a quick process. It's telling me now the backup must be all saved. So it's saying create a custom program. I have a feeling that's parameters. Yep. Speed limiter. We'll take that up. Oh, looks like oh no, here we go. Not that we'll ever be dyno testing it. Looks like 140 is your max. It's just a warning message. Rev limiter. Take it there. 6900. Alright, continue to programming. Building file, please wait. Our French Bulldog just ran away. Heather and Kylie are out looking for her. That's why I had to step away here for a second to help. But I'm here at the house in case she comes back now, so I can do this. Now it's programming.
Listen, she's grounded. Never without a leash again.
She just don't care.
No, she's like a honey badger. Oh, P.S. She likes sweet potato fries.
Oh yeah? Is that how you got her back?
That's how they got her, yeah.
You are bad, Maisie. Now it's telling me to turn the ignition off. And we're gonna hit the screen. Open the door, close it. Turn the ignition on, but do not start the vehicle. Hit the screen. Turn the ignition off. Hit the screen. It's going to tell you to power it down completely. Open and close your door. Turn the ignition on again. Hit the screen. Program complete, man. That's it. You loaded the 87 tune, which is level 3. As you can see, you got stock, you got towing, you got economy, 87 octane, 91, 93, crawl. I didn't want to hit that. Crawl, I'm curious. I'm definitely going to try that out. I'll let you guys know how that is. I'm going to go back a screen. We got it in run, but the engine's not running. I am going to run diagnostics just to make sure. Occasionally you'll have some issues after you do a PCM swap. So we're just going to read, make sure there's no codes. No codes found. I'm still going to clear. Make sure the ignition's on. Occasionally you'll get an engine code. It's no big deal. You just clear it out. So now I'm going to go to home and I'm going to start the Jeep. There you go. There's going to be a lot more features that I'm going to go over with this in another video. This video is just basically the installation, the whole process from start to finish. Make sure you follow all the steps in the order that I did them. It's important that you do that, otherwise you will run into issues. I also suggest not doing this on a Saturday or Sunday. Do it during the week. So if you do experience an issue, you can contact Superchips support. They're outstanding. They'll walk you through it if you have any issues and get you resolved. I'm gonna make sure the accelerator works. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. One exciting feature that I'm gonna let you know about right now, no more auto stop and start. It disables it. I'm so pumped about it. But it's got a plethora of other features that I'm gonna go over in the next video because there's just so much. I'm gonna dedicate a whole video to it. If you guys want one of these Trail Dash 2s or Trail Cals or any Superchips products for your Jeep, check out the jpshop.net. If you want full tuning with the PCM swap, contact Superchips online. They got a website. I'll have everything linked in the video description. Everything we talked about today will always, as always, will be linked in the video description. Make sure you guys are checking that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're stopping by for the first time, make sure you smash, tap, do something to that subscribe button. Turn on all those notifications and check out allbeastprojects.com, beastsynthetics.com. That's Amsoil. You purchase your Amsoil from me. It helps support the channel. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next upload.
Welcome MTV, this is my crib. I live in my car.
Look at that turbo. What did you just say?
A brim, like the brim of a hat? Oh. Yankee with no brim. Alright, I'll take the camera real quick.
Or you can have a brim with no Yankee.
Now we're doing this. We're gonna get this 10 millimeter, and we're gonna get this 10 mil, and we're gonna get this.
You've clearly been following CDC guidelines and washing your hands because they dry AF.
Yeah, every time I go into my office, every time I come out into the bathroom, out of the bathroom, every time I leave station, I come back on station. Tracy, we're installing Superchips.
Superchip TD2 in-cab controller.
I gotta start that over. I was laughing.
What the hell? I did so good.
Here, I'll go like this. And we're installing